It's pretty evident that laws do not control people's actions or whether they choose to follow it or not. A lot of college kids certainly do not follow the drinking age law that's currently set at age 21 in the United States. Alcohol is the drug of choice for many young Americans. It's estimated that there are 10.1 million underage drinkers in the U.S., and 85% of college students have tried alcohol. Our research consisted of exploring the history of alcohol from when it changed, the effects that it has, and differences between 18 and 21-year-olds. We tried to figure out if it is best to keep the age at 21 or reduce it to 18. During our research, we've received thoughts and opinions about the topic of drinking from friends, family, and experts. First, we're going to start off by asking a couple of people if they know why the drinking age was changed.
Do you think the drinking age is 21?
Because that's when, the age is, appropriate or, that you're mature enough to drink, according to people.
I mainly think the drinking age is 21 because of the brain development that deals with adolescence. And I know that your brain isn't fully developed and needs to be able to, and that alcohol can sometimes inhibit that. And I also believe it just maturity. When somebody reaches the age of 21, they're almost done with college or whatever part of the life they're at, so they're able to make better decisions, whether it be with alcohol or without alcohol.
To be safe.
The drinking age was changed in the 1980s from 18 to 21 by Ronald Reagan, and he came up with the Presidential Commission Against Drunk Driving. During this time, there was an outbreak of drunk driving cases. There were many ideas to stop drunk driving, like making the penalties of drunk driving worse, have a big public information campaign, have youth education programs, etc. The idea that won the president over was changing the legal age of being able to consume alcohol to 21. A group called MADD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, also had a huge influence on changing the age. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act changed the legal drinking age to 21, and it was signed by Reagan on July 17, 1984. If states did not change their drinking age, they would lose 10% of federal highway funding, and that would be a huge loss to the states, so they changed the law. How has underage drinking changed throughout the years? This graph shows a decline of college students who reported drinking in the past month. It shows a 12% decrease in a 24-year span and hasn't gone above 75% since 1991. There are some spots where drinking has increased, but the past couple of years has stayed pretty consistent. In many situations, drinking alcohol can lead to someone's death. Based on data from 2006 to 2010, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that on average, alcohol is a factor in the deaths of 4,358 young people under age 21 each year. This includes 1,580 deaths from motor vehicle crashes, which is 23% less than in the 1980s, 1,269 from homicides, 245 deaths from alcohol poisoning, falls, burns, and drowning, and 492 deaths from suicides. In short, there are more than 25,000 people alive today because of the 21 minimum drinking age law in every state.
Okay, the first question is, do you drink?
Yes.
I have consumed alcohol in the past.
Yeah.
Why do you drink?
It's more of a social habit. I grew up where drinking was the only thing to do. I was from a rural town, so the weekends consisted of drinking with friends, and here it's kind of the same. Party usually happens on the weekends, and it's a social.
It is in the family history, and I'm so used to it, so I just do it. I don't know.
To have fun.
I drink mainly because I am a stressed college student, and that forgetting about it for just a few hours is it's fun and nice, and to be with your friends, it's a little bit of peer pressure, but mostly just to forget about things and have a worry-free fun time.
Why do underagers drink? One of the reasons that underage people drink is for the thrill of it. They want to be a risk taker, and drinking seems to be one of the popular risks they want to take. Another reason is peer pressure. They see other people like their friends or classmates doing it, and they get pressured into it because people tell them it's fun. A third reason is to relieve stress. This is when a lot of binge drinking occurs and people just want to forget about their problems. People don't realize that alcohol is a depressant, which will solve their stress for a short period of time, but in the long run, it can cause depression. A fourth reason is for the social aspect. You get to hang around with your friends, drink some beer, play some drinking games, watch some sports on TV, and dance in the middle of the floor. What sounds better than that?
What are your drinking habits?
Since I know that drinking really isn't all that healthy for my body, I try to limit myself to only like once every other weekend, but mostly I just do it on like game day weekends because of tailgating and hanging out with friends.
I drink like 3 times a week. Decent, man.
UW-Madison is not the only place where binge drinking occurs. A study done by the National Survey Results of Drug Use found that in 1991, 43% of all college students binged, but as of 2012, it has dropped by 6%. When we asked older students about their habits, they emphasized the fact that at age 18, they drank simply to get drunk, more of a social pressure. But now, it is just to have a drink with dinner, because they like the taste. This could have skewed the data taken by Harvard University, in which 39% reported binge drinking, and 18% don't drink at all. Is it all the freshmen skewing this data? Well, Linda Diamond, a rehab facilitator, thinks it may be just that. She reported that most teen drinkers are binge, meaning 5 or more drinks in an event, simply to get drunk. She goes on to say most do it not because it is against the law, but pressure from others, and it affects them greatly, not just physically, but mentally. As you can see on this chart, as one continues to drink, their mental capacity dims. At a BAC of 0.05%, bad judgment occurs, but just 0.4% higher and an individual is unconscious. Binge drinking affects the brain drastically, especially on teens, where a heavy drinker doesn't activate the same areas of the brain for learning and memory of a non-drinker. Dr. Peter Cornelius reflects these same ideas. However, he states that between the ages of 18 and 21, there is not much different between how the alcohol affects the brain. Both are affected behaviorally and mentally the same. However, underage drinkers are much more likely to binge drink, becoming more dangerous than just a few sips. So, what should we do? Change the drinking age? Lower it? Both Cornelius and Diamond do not think so. It would only lead to earlier drinking and increase the possibility of addiction, both added.
I guess so, yeah. Like, I can wait a few more years, yeah.
I do agree with the drinking age. I mean, it's not going to stop people from drinking underage, but scientifically speaking and medically speaking, our brain isn't fully developed until 21, and so we really shouldn't be influencing that development with alcohol.
What do you think would happen if the drinking age would change?
It would go down. Like, I think that it would like be bad in high school and everything like that, and there would be like a lot more people buying it for younger people, which isn't good. And if it would go up, I don't know, probably be like a protest.
I think that not as many kids would be sneaking around as much, but it's not going to stop kids from drinking. But I'm hoping that if it were to change to be younger, that people would feel safer about drinking in public areas more so.
If the drinking age were to change, what do you think would happen?
It depends on how young the drinking age would. I heard an opinion where someone said if the drinking age was 18, it would cause problems within high schools. But it is funny that, you know, you're an adult at 18 and you can smoke at 18 and you can chew at 18 and you can join the army at 18, but you can't consume alcohol.
Nothing. Every 18-year-old drinks already.
What we found from our research is that there is no clear age that it should be set as because there are positives and negatives to both sides. Evidence shows that since the law changed from 18 to 21, there have been a lot of benefits, like the amount of drunk driving accidents has been reduced, the amount of underage drinkers has been reduced, as well as drinking-related crimes has been reduced. No matter what the age is set at, people are going to break the law no matter what. There are still going to be consequences and effects on your body. Many 18 to 20-year-olds will disagree with the age because they are adults and feel they should be given that right. Do you think it would be better to switch to 18 and maybe let kids feel more safe, or keep it at 21 where it's been proven that it's helped?